Hi, friends, and welcome to Pieces Here. I'm your host, Avis Kalfsbeek. This is another episode in the Wolff Peace series, a journey through Robert Paul Wolff's 1966 anthology, Political Man and Social Man. In each episode, we pair one of the great political theorists from Wolff's book with someone who lived peace as a daily radical practice. Together, they help us explore the tension between power and principle and what peace truly requires. The thinker, Friedrich Engels, 1820 to 1895. Today's thinker is Friedrich Engels, philosopher, radical, and co-author with Karl Marx of the Communist Manifesto. But in Wolff's anthology, we turn to Engels' lesser-known but foundational work, The Origin of the State. In it, Engels argued that the state arose not from noble ideals or social contracts, but from material inequality. The state, he wrote, was born to enforce class divisions and protect property. It is not an impartial referee, but a tool of domination. According to Engels, the earliest human societies were communal, often matriarchal. But as private property emerged, so did hierarchies, patriarchy, and eventually the state itself. He writes, "The state is, by its very nature, a power forced on society from outside. It is the product of the irreconcilability of class antagonisms." To Engels, then, peace could not exist within the current state system. The state itself was the symptom and the protector of inequality. Real peace required revolution. Peace pairing, Bayard Rustin, 1912 to 1987. To balance Engels' revolutionary materialism, we turn to Bayard Rustin, American civil rights activist, strategist, and quiet architect of some of the most powerful nonviolent movements in U.S. history. Rustin believed, like Engels, that class struggle and racism were intertwined, but unlike Engels, he insisted that nonviolence was not only a tactic, but a principle. Rustin helped organize the 1963 March on Washington, was a close advisor to Martin Luther King Jr., and openly gay in an era when his identity put him at personal and political risk. Rustin said, "We need in every community a group of angelic troublemakers." Where Engels saw systems to be dismantled, Rustin built coalitions. Where Engels looked to revolution, Rustin looked to transformation through the ballot, the march, the teach-in, the hunger strike. He believed democracy could be redeemed, not just overthrown. Their contrast invites a critical question. Can peace be achieved without dismantling oppressive systems? Or must peace begin with how we resist? That just happens to be church bells on a Sunday. How appropriate at the end of that. Your peace questions to ponder. Big picture. Can nonviolence transform a system designed to protect inequality, or is revolution the only path? Day-to-day life. How does your day-to-day life support your values? And on your path, do you gravitate toward confrontation or collaboration? Do you trust reform, or do you seek a more drastic form of change? That concludes this episode of Pieces Here. You can learn more at aviskalfsbeek.com, where I share updates on this podcast and my books, including the newly released novella Mano Mutante, a story about food, friendship, and finding peace in the soy-soaked heart of industrial ag Iowa. I write best friend activist short fiction in my Peter the Water Dog Saves the Planet 6-book series. Coming up next, more thinkers, more peace pairings, and more bold questions from the Wolff Peace series. This episode is human narrated by me, but was created with the help of AI, which has promised to let me know if it makes something up. So far, no confessions, but if you believe I've missed something, or if you just want to say hello, I'd love to hear from you. Podcast music is Dalai Lama Riding a Bike by Javier Peque Rodriguez. Links to his music on Spotify and Bandcamp are in the show notes. If you enjoyed this podcast, it really helps me if you subscribe on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to your podcasts, or send it to a friend. I'm Avis Kalfsbeek, and I write the Pedro the Water Dog Saves the Planet book series, which are a series of environmental adventure novellas. Books 1 through 6 are available at all your favorite online bookstores or at aviskalfsbeek.com. Go to aviskalfsbeek.com to be notified when new books come out. Thank you again. Until next time, listen for the peace.